Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Investing Accelerator January 6th coaching call. This is the first coaching call for 2019. This is pretty exciting. And I'm just going to go through the stock list for the first week of January. Now, as you know that in the last quarter or so, the market has been down. So we can easily see this with, right now I have Southwest Airline here. You can see this short-term downtrend, and you'll also see a downtrend for other stocks as well. Now, there are mainly a couple of reasons. Well, first, there's the whole trade war going on. Second, there was the hurricane, and then third, there was the election with Trump. Now, with that behind us, January is a very important month because usually January will set the tone for the rest of the year. When you're looking at the market, I don't really see any system collapsing other than Bitcoin. So when you're looking at that, there's really no reason for the market to continue to go down. Yes, interest rate is rising, but then that doesn't mean that will put the market into a recession. And the mutual funds and hedge funds still need to invest. So unless somebody starts going bankrupt, I don't think we'll have a big problem here. So let's look at some of the stocks that I'm currently holding. And I'll show you how I'm analyzing it so you can do the same for your stocks. So right now I have Southwest Airline here. Now, it's unfortunate that Southwest actually broke through $50, which is where I entered. But once it broke through, you'll see that there's two positive candles here, which shows the price being retraced. And historically, it is pretty rare for Southwest to dip below the blue line. And you can see that there's the wick for these two candles. Now, does that mean I need to wait for it? Probably yes. But is there support? Definitely. And if I'm looking at the insider trading activity for Southwest, you're going to notice that management is not really selling it anymore because they want to sell it up here instead of down here. So this means management will be working hard to drive the stock price up. So it'll be quite interesting when Southwest close their December results and release their results maybe in February. So that's what I'm waiting for. But if I want this stock to be going up to around $66, in quarter one is probably too ambitious for it to go about a way. So this means I probably have to wait 2 quarters before I leave. So somewhere near June. So that's really the time frame I'm looking at. So that means if I want to get quarter one results as well, then April, May, I'll be getting that in May. So the April, May, June timeframe will be important for this stock. Now, you see how I'm thinking ahead, even though I'm just looking at this chart? That is important. Now, the next stock I'm holding on to is EA. Now, when I entered the EA, I know I'm a little bit early, and I kind of repeatedly said that because I know it will take some time for EA to form a bottom. Now, it turns out EA actually dropped to 75. This means I could have entered at 75 instead of where my price is right now, around $83 to $86. But, oh well, you can't be completely accurate all the time. So, after the new year starts, the last week of December, we saw some people entering the stock because obviously it is cheap. And more importantly, this week, EA went from $83 to $84. In fact, I think most of the gain relates to the very last day. So on the right-hand side, you'll see that EA jumped by $5.7, which equates to 7.25%. So that's actually quite a significant jump. And that is positive because you'll see that these two candles exceeds the previous black candles, which shows you that it's forming a bottom. And this is a good sign. Now, is this going to go to 132 immediately? The chances are not. But having said that, I have this option for 2 years. So this means I have more than enough time for the market to go up and down, and it will easily hit $100, which means that is my break-even point. So I should be pretty protected here. And I'm looking forward to the upcoming busy season for EA. Alibaba. It actually increased $9, around 7% on the very last day, the Friday. And again, Alibaba right now is doing a W. When I was entering earlier, I know that I'm a bit early, so then I bought the longest possible option. You see how I'm always trying to buy the longest option because I'm leaving myself room for error? Now, for the 161, yes, that is kind of high. But for the 148, I would say this is in a good price range. Now, I couldn't get 132 because when you look at it, the times in which Alibaba is actually in this range is really low. Well, really rare, I mean. So I got in 147, which is average. So if you're looking at this chart, you'll see that right now the market might be forming a bottom at 131, which shows that this is a good W. And that's important. So if the market continues to form this bottom, then I'm pretty confident that it will exceed here and hit 220. So that's for Alibaba. And those are really my 3 main holdings. So it's pretty straightforward once you're fully invested because you're just really looking at 3 stocks. Now, if I move on to some other stocks that my students are holding, for example, Facebook. Now, Facebook is pretty interesting because right now it's at this blue line. It's obviously cheap. And right now you'll see that it is forming a bottom. Now, I was pretty concerned about this drop 2 weeks ago, but then I think that given that the last 2 weeks has been up, it is forming a W. Now, it's not a perfect W, but it is still forming a bottom. And I would start counting this bottom from the week of November 19th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the 7th week of this bottom for Facebook. Now, what does that mean? It means that if you want to get into Facebook, then this is probably a good time to get into it now. Now, for Facebook, it's a little bit special because you have the whole Sandra issue going on. So she might be fired due to all the privacy concerns, the COO. Is this Sandra or Sandberg? Don't exactly remember, but oh well. So, the most important indicator for Facebook is actually not the financial statements and not the ratios. What's really important is what the insiders are doing. And what I essentially want to see is that the insiders are not selling Facebook other than Sandra. Let's see if I got the name right. Sheryl Sandberg. So now you'll see that Sheryl, is selling the stock continuously throughout the last couple of months. But only she is selling it. And the rumor is that she might be fired. And, well, she probably want to exit all her stocks regardless of the price for Facebook. But what's important is that you'll see Mark Zuckerberg not selling it any time below 175. Mark Zuckerberg has not sold any Facebook stock. So this gives you confidence that at 137, Facebook stock is actually considered to be cheap. So this is an important indicator. Shake Shack, yes, this is a good time to buy if you still have money. All right, one more thing. So my student actually invested in Dollar Tree. And this is actually quite interesting because I was telling him in one of our coaching calls earlier that for Dollar Tree, you'll see that people are actually issuing stock options before the earnings release and their expansion plan. So that's actually quite important because you see a bunch of acquisitions, which is very uncommon for this day and age. And these are bigger amounts too when you add them up together. So this means management in November have a very strong expectation that Dollar Tree is going to go up. Second, you see a nice bottom being formed in this area. So this gives a very strong level of support, which propels Dollar Tree to continue to go up. So this is great. So my student entered within this range, around $86 is my guess. And then right now Dollar Tree is up. Now if you haven't entered into Dollar Tree, you probably shouldn't enter by now because right now it's $92 and you would be overpaying. So my student would just ride this out until either it hits maybe near 100 or 115. These would be good areas to exit when the time comes. Having said that, he has more than enough time for Dollar Tree to go up and continue to observe the price. So that's pretty much it for this week. So I'm very excited for the upcoming develop of the next 6 months. I think this year is going to be a good year, but we'll see. See you next week.